Welcome to the Agile Release Train journey. Think of SAFE's Agile Release Train as literally a train. And by the end of this guide, you'll understand why this analogy is so powerful for grasping how teams, roles, and value delivery all work together at scale. The Agile Release Train concept. The ART is built on a simple but powerful metaphor. Imagine one train moving toward a shared destination, delivering value to customers and the business. That train has multiple carriages. Each one is an agile team. These teams work in sync, moving at the same cadence. And the length of that journey? That's defined by the planning interval, or PI. It's the time frame from departure to destination. This isn't about teams working independently. It's about coordinated, synchronized delivery at scale. The engine, RTE and PM partnership. At the front of every ART, you have two essential leaders working as partners. Think of them as the driver and navigator of the train. The release train engineer, or RTE, is the driver. The RTE steers the ART forward, ensures teams stay coordinated, and clears obstacles from the tracks before they derail progress. The product manager, or PM, is the navigator. The PM sits beside the driver holding the roadmap, setting priorities and defining the destination, the vision of where the train is headed. These two roles are critical. Neither one works alone. The RTE keeps the machine running smoothly. The PM ensures it's running in the right direction. Carriages, the agile teams. Each carriage on the train is one agile team. One team per carriage, and every team is cross-functional and self-organizing. What does cross-functional mean? It means your team has developers, testers, designers, and everyone else needed to actually build and deliver something. You're not waiting for another team to do their part. You have the skills on your carriage to move forward. And every carriage has clearly defined roles. There's a product owner, a scrum master or team coach, and the team members themselves. Clear roles mean clear accountability. Everyone knows what they're responsible for. Inside the carriage, team roles. Let's zoom in on what happens inside one team carriage. The product owner defines and prioritizes the user stories for the team. The PO is the voice of the customer inside the carriage, ensuring the right work gets done first in the right order. The Scrum Master or team coach facilitates the team ceremonies. The stand-ups, the planning, the retros. The SM/TC removes impediments and keeps the carriage running smoothly. They're a servant leader, focused on helping the team be effective. And then you have the team members, developers, testers, UX designers, specialists. They're the engine of every carriage, sprint after sprint, building the solution. The cargo, features, and user stories. Now, what's the train carrying? Value. And value comes in two tiers. At the top level, you have features, big chunks of business value. Each feature is a significant capability that gets delivered to customers. Features are assigned to the entire ART for the planning interval. Inside each carriage, you have user stories, the smaller, actionable pieces. User stories are the granular work that each team builds. And when you add up all the user stories across all the carriages, you complete the features. That's how the train delivers cargo. The PI journey, planning interval overview. A planning interval typically spans 8 to 12 weeks. That's long enough for meaningful delivery, time to plan, build, test, and integrate, but short enough to stay agile and respond to change. Here's how the journey flows. Teams plan together at the start, build in sprints throughout the interval, integrate continuously to make sure everything works together, and arrive at the destination with tested, working solutions. It's a rhythm, a cadence, and that cadence is synchronized across the entire ART. Synchronization, keeping the train on track. Synchronization is what keeps the train from derailing. There are three key moments of alignment. First, PI planning. All carriages come together before the journey begins. You align on goals, identify dependencies, and make commitments. Everyone starts at the same time, heading in the same direction. Second, iteration cadence. Throughout the PI, teams move in unison. Same sprint length, same rhythm, same ART heartbeat. No carriage runs ahead or falls behind. The train stays together. Third, inspect and adapt. At the end of the PI, the ART pauses to review what happened, reflect on what worked and what didn't, and course correct before the next journey begins. Visualizing the ART train. Let me paint the complete picture for you. At the engine, you have the RTE as the driver and the PM as the navigator with the roadmap, leading the entire ART forward. Behind the engine, you have multiple carriages. Each carriage is an Agile team with a product owner, a scrum master or team coach, and team members building and delivering together. On top of and inside these carriages, you have the cargo. Features on top representing the big business capabilities, and user stories inside representing the granular work. The value is loaded and delivered at journey's end. There are 4 reasons this metaphor is so powerful. First, collaboration at scale. Multiple teams working as one unit, not in isolation. Like carriages on a shared track, you're connected, coordinated, and moving together. Second, roles made visible. When you think of a train, you immediately understand who does what. The driver, the navigator, the crew. Everyone's responsibility is instantly clear. There's no ambiguity. Third, workflow is tangible. Features become cargo, stories become the load. The flow of value is easy to visualize and easy to communicate to stakeholders. Fourth, cadence is non-negotiable. Trains run on schedules, so does the ART. Cadence and alignment are built into the model. Everyone knows the rhythm. Now, let's be real. Not every journey goes smoothly. There are common obstacles that can derail an ART. First, misaligned priorities. When different carriages are pulling in different directions, the train derails. The PM's roadmap must keep everyone aligned on shared goals. If teams don't understand the bigger picture, they'll optimize locally and sub-optimize globally. Second, communication gaps. Silence between carriages causes missed dependencies and cascading delays. You can't see a dependency if nobody talks about it. Frequent sync points and transparent communication keep the line clear. Third, cargo overload. Overcommitting features without proper capacity planning leads to missed stops and burned out teams. During PI planning, you've got to be realistic about what the ART can actually deliver. Overload is the enemy of sustainable pace. Fourth, track obstacles. Impediments that block team progress. Whether that's a technical blocker, a missing resource, or an organizational constraint. The RTE's job is to proactively clear these before they slow the entire train down. As a participant on an ART, you have 4 core responsibilities. First, know your carriage. Understand your team's role, your own responsibilities, and how your work connects to the bigger journey. You're not just building a feature in isolation, you're part of something bigger. Second, connect the carriages. Collaborate across teams. Surface dependencies early so they don't surprise you later. Support your fellow travelers on the ART. The train is only as strong as its weakest carriage. Third, communicate clearly. Be transparent with your product owner, your scrum master or team coach, your ART, and your PM. Keep surprises out of the system. Share blockers early. And fourth, deliver together. At the end of the PI, the train arrives at its destination, and you helped build that cargo, on time, tested, and full of value. That's the win. That's what the ART is all about.